Tzeno re'ena v'nois Tzion. Go out and see the daughters of Tzion. Ba'melech Shlomo, in the king Shlomo ba'atara, with the crown she'ita lo imoi, that his mother crowned him b'yom chasanasei, the day of his wedding, or v'yom simchas libay, the day of his happy heart. So what does it say? Tzena means go out, ure'ena and see, b'nois Tzion. So what the pasuk is literally talking about, before we read the Maimer about the Jewish people, that on the day that Hashem gave them the Torah, that's called Chatunasai. When did God marry us? The day He gave us the Torah. Over Yom Simchas Libay, when was the day they celebrated? When they put up the Mishkan.
Oh, that's why they mentioned Shlomo HaMelech.
Exactly.
Because he built the
Beit HaMikdash, but when they put the Mishkan, so in other words, it's like this. Hashem married us. That was his Chatunata. That's gave the Torah.
Okay.
Then Simchat Libay happened a year later when they built the Mishkan. And Shlomo HaMelech built the Beit HaMikdash.
Okay,
now, Bnei Tzion goes on the Jewish people. Why are we called Tzion? So Rashi says, because we are excellent in what? In 3 mitzvot. Tzion is like, you get a mitzuyan. Like someone is, you write a mark and he says, oh, this guy is a beautiful mark, mitzuyan. Like 100 means like mitzuyan.
So he said Tzena or Ena.
Yeah.
It's like a female.
Because
so he's talking to Bnot Tzion.
Yeah.
He's telling Bnot Tzion, Tzena or Ena.
Go out and see. Then
so
see.
Why is he talking about just the Banot and not the?
No. So Bnot Tzion. All Jews are Banot.
Okay.
Because we are the Kala of Hashem. So look what Rashi says. You know why we're called Tzion? Because Milah, we're very excellent when it comes to the Brit.
That's for sure.
Meaning we make a big celebration, we're happy of it.
No, there's more than that.
What?
Because even if today most of the Jews don't keep Torah mitzvot, Milah they're doing.
Yeah. Brit is always, the Brit is like everyone is. No one wants to miss a Brit. Everyone is in. Number 2, tefillin.
That's why you run after everybody.
Yeah, and number 3, tzitzit. So according to Rashi, that makes you mitzuyan. Okay, what's matara she'itla imay? What's the crown that the mother gave him? Who's our mother? Hashem. So he says it speaks about the Mishkan. Because the Mishkan was made, the roof of the Mishkan was made with material. It had 7 colors. And it was called Tachash, Izim, and then the whole thing, the oil of the Mishkan.
The permanent one?
No.
The one that they moved in.
They moved in the Bezer, yeah, that was made from Mishkan. So guess what happens? He brings a story. Rabbi Nechunya asked Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, did you ask your father, your teacher, did you ever hear anything on this pasuk she'itru lo imay? Maybe you could tell me something nice about this crown that his mother gave him on the day of the wedding. Could you tell me something? So he says, I'll tell you, I heard from my father that he gives like a story. There was a king that had an only daughter. And he loved us so much. And he loved us so much, he says, you're my daughter. How do we see God did that to us? In Tehillim chapter 45, it says, Shimi bat uri'i. Listen, my daughter. So Hashem first calls us daughter. But then the love of this king was so strong to the daughter that he didn't leave till he called her my sister. And that's what it says in the Torah, Achoisi Rayoti. We spoke about it. And then Hashem loved us even more till He said, you're my mother. So first God calls us His daughter. Then God calls us his brother, his sister, and then he calls us mother, that we're his mother.
So that's the level?
3 levels. Daughter, brother, mother. We are on 3
Puts
levels.
himself subservient to us.
So where is Rayati? Rayati, like
Achoti rayati.
Achoti Rayati, mother.
Yeah. Imi is the highest.
Why would he make himself?
Well, a second, you'll see. So basically, the Benos Tzion goes on the Jewish people because they do 3 mitzvahs: bris, tefillah, and tzitzis. The crown on the mother is building during because he loves the Jews so much that he calls them first daughter, then sister, and then mother. The day of the wedding is the day the Torah was given, and Simchas Liba is when the Mishkan was built. That's how the simple explanation is. Libo. That's the day the Mishkan. So that's how you translate it. Just to the surface. So he says, "V'omer Razal, b'yoyim chasanasai zematan Torah." The day of the wedding is when Hashem gave us a Torah. So the question is, Ma'u lashon Tsa'ina. Why does Hashem have to tell the Jews go out? Me'hecham, from where should they go out? Like where were they? And he says you have to go out. Where are you going out from? Like when I tell you to go out, means you were somewhere, and I'm telling you now, go out. Where should I go? Where was I, and where am I going out? Why do I have to go out? Why can't I stay where I am? So that's the question. Number 2, God, I gave you the story. He first called us our daughter, his daughter. Then he says we're sisters, and then he says we're the mother. So God kept hugging us, so to say, till he says, you're my mother. So lahavan zeh, how could we be God's mother? What does that mean? What does it mean, God's mother? So it must be just like a mother sustains the child. There's something we're giving God that he's calling us we're his mother.
Where is calling us his
Unconditional love.
The mother. So we give God unconditional love. Okay, a nice chidush. Wow, for that itself, you're already your mother, God's mother. Now he has tzitzis and tefillin and everything he has.
Today people put tzitzit like just to put tzitzit. Like even if they want to put tzitzit.
Oh, you mean if they don't tefillin?
It become in to put
Okay.
Military started.
Look what he says further. Now, to understand this, I want to say interesting question. Whenever you learn in Talmud or in Mishnah, not in the Torah, but like more in the oral Torah, when they want to speak about Hashem, how do they call Hashem? HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Anyway, look what he says. B'lashon Chachamim, Tanaim, Amoraim. Chachamim is the sages, Tanaim is the Mishnah, Amoraim is the Gemara, the Talmud. Wherever they want to speak about Hashem, they say HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So he's asking, V'lama Bacharu Chachamim Shem Zeh Mishar Hashem Es Hashem Ezrach. Why did they pick this name? Why don't they call Hashem like Chanun, Achveis, Rachum, whatever? There's so many titles. Chazdan. There's so many things. So. Okay, but maybe they didn't want to pronounce the name of Hashem. Like sometimes we don't want to say it, so we use another name. Like you don't want to say your father's name, you say Tati. You know what I'm saying? You don't call your father by the name. So the 7 names of Hashem in the Torah, the 7 names of Hashem. When me and you talk, we don't want to use the 7 names because it's like calling your father by your name. So they want to use another one. Mm-hmm. So why do they pick HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Why not Chanun, Rachum, or there's 15 different titles. So I want to share with you, he says a very powerful thing.
But where it's mentioned that HaKadosh Baruch Hu calling us his mom?
Here, you have to go. In this pasuk, Tsa'ena Imo. In the pasuk from Shir Hashirim, you see Tsa'eno be'ora.
But Tara she'itra lo imo is not Melech Shlomo.
No, it's the Jewish people that we crowned Hashem on the day of his wedding, which is when he gave us the Torah, and on the day when we made the Mishkan, we gave Hashem a crown.
So when he's saying here, Bamelech Shlomo, this is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's the...
Yeah, that's what wherever in Shir Hashirim says the word Shlomo, it means HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's how in Shir Hashirim it refers to. And the reason is because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Melech. You understand now? It makes sense?
Now it's much more clear.
Yeah, okay. So the question is, why do we use Kadosh? So let me, before we go in, just one thing. The word Kadosh, I just want you to remember, Kadosh means Muvdal. Removed. So look what he says. Sometimes you spell Kadosh with a Vav, and sometimes it's Kodesh without a Vav. When we say Kadosh, 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 it's with a Vav. When we say like Shabbat Kodesh, it's without a Vav. I'm just giving an example. Or Shemen Mishchat Kodesh without a Vav. Why? Why sometimes Kodesh has a Vav and sometimes it doesn't have a Vav? So in Kabbalah and Chassidut, whenever there's a Vav, it means that you're taking, look at the shape of a Vav. There's a little dot and then it comes down. Whenever there's a Vav, it means it's coming down. The light is coming down. So now, if I would just say Kodesh without the Vav, means he's so removed that he doesn't even come down. When I put a Vav in there, means it's already how he's coming down.
Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh.
Well, soon, even though he's removed, but he's still coming down. You understand the Chidush? In other words, the Chidush is, so look what he says. Ki pirush ubiu milas kadosh bevav. Why does a kadosh? Okay, Zagazant. Hey, I'll see you. Sorry, you're gonna miss the most important part.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I like this. I like this one.
You're gonna like. That's why I said this is a good mimer. You're gonna.
It's a good one.
Okay. So you want to wait till we finish one paragraph? Okay, tell your wife to go. She's kadosh. She's the holy. Say 3 times kadosh and she'll go. Shahavav moira al hamshacha. The vav represents hamshacha, means coming down, like flowing down. What does it mean? Shehi hamshachas kedushase yizbarach. This is Hashem coming down. Liyes memale kalamim v'soivev kalamim shu hamshacha v'ara balma. So Hashem himself, like before he comes down and has any relation to us, he's Kodesh, without a Vav. He's moved out, boom. He has nothing to do with us. Kadosh is already how Hashem is, it's how Hashem is already flowing down to do Sovev and Mamale. What's the difference between Sovev? I just saw like a brief, we spoke about it once. Sovev is the energy of Hashem that encompasses the whole world, but it's not designated into each creature in its concept. So I'll give you an example. Let's take it to encompass Sovev, like the Gulfs. Or Makif.
But is it Sovev because the vessel is not
able to
receive that light?
Okay, but because it's such a high light, I mean, Mamale is already condensed. So I'll give you one example that Rambam says. So you make a tomato. There's 2 parts of the tomato. One is the chomed, that means there's a tomato. And then there is the texture, the color, the shape, whatever, the taste, the flavor. So the taste, the texture, the color, that's Mamale. Mm-hmm. The fact that it exists, that's Sovev. In other words, Sovev is almost like this energy that makes the world but doesn't adapt itself to the world in its needs, so to say. I'm here, I'm making you exist. Memale now goes into you and makes everything about you. The texture, the color, the taste, the size, the whole ma'aseh. Both, whether it's Sovev or Mamale, is Kadosh. That's already how Hashem is coming down. First it's Sovev, and then it's Mamale.
Is it actually split?
I don't know if you
They're
could.
actually two separate entities
I wouldn't.
at
I
the
wouldn't.
time?
It's hard to say the word literally split, but figuratively, you have to know it's two different things,
Two different things with one.
which happens at the same moment.
So it's one.
One is forbidden, one is memaleh.
Yeah, sovev is
the surrounding.
that makes everything just exist. Yesh me'ayin. It doesn't go into the details.
The memaleh.
Memaleh is already the detail. Yeah.
There's another example, like electricity. באאוטלט יש לה electricity, זה מקיף. אבל ברגע she chose that certain plants to connect the electricity, then הוא ממלא אותו, so that's, they have already תכונה מסוימת.
Yeah, that's so electricity itself, you could plug anything in it. Because it's not, electricity doesn't have design that I'm only going to work for a vacuum cleaner, I'm not going to work for a wash machine. It's energy.
General energy.
Because this energy is going to make everything work.
This is the sovev.
Yeah, it's similar to that. And so according to Kabbalah, Sovev makes,
All the news this year.
yeah, and also makes Yesh Ma'ayin.
Yeah.
It makes everything exist. Then there is the Mamale that has every detail of what we just created. Both of them are included in the word Kadosh, meaning they're both Hamshacha. They're already how Hashem is relating to the world. Why? She'ein arach elav yizbarach. There's no way that we have any aroch, any it was so distant. Aroch is like ein aroch. They're so distant.
No, זה כמו,
Erech, like erech.
yeah, כמו infinity.
Infinite, yeah. Ki hu achdas pshuta.
No control.
No, above us. He's so high above us. Hashem.
Therefore, we have no control
We
of
don't.
anything.
No, we don't have a connecting.
No,
We're not connected to
does
it.
it become the the funnel which allows it to pass through?
The kadosh.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Ki hu achdas pshuta. V'anivra mispashus. V'nichag v'asela. I'm saying. Where is this? Maybe you have to turn the other way. Yeah, you have to turn. You see, you have to turn 116 and turn to 117. You see.
Oh,
In other words, it's the next side is not the continuation of this side.
what?
Yeah. It's like you have to go to here. Look, it doesn't even make sense. But look, exactly. Turn the page this way. Yeah.
But how come?
I don't know. It was a mistake in the copy.
On the other side.
Yeah. It's the end of the last mimer.
170.
Ve'eina nitfeses umelabeshes mamash b'seicha nevraim. Hashem doesn't get nitfes. Nitfes means he doesn't get caught up into the creature. Rak tzeifa umabit atzeif kol deisir achas. He looks at everything in one. Is like one glance, like one shot.
One image.
He sees everything in one seeing. Kumeshekosov hayoytzer yachad libam. Maybe not come saying. V'lochein nikra ora v'hamshocha zu. Therefore, this ha'ara is called. What is it called? Kadosh Baruch Hu, which is Hashem Tzava'o that comes down to this world. Shu Kadosh B'vav Shemoira Hamshacha Shehamshacha Hashgacha V'skirachas. V'zehu Inyan HaMalachim. What do the Malachim do every day? They say 3 times Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Why do they say 3 times? Because they realize and they get it that Hashem is here, but He's distant from us. And every time they say Kadosh, it's a higher level. So let's say, for example, the first Kadosh is the world of Asiyah. And they realize, hey, Hashem is much higher than this. He's removed from it. Then they go to the world of Yitzirah, and they say again, Kadosh, Hashem is removed from Yitzirah. And then they go to Bria, and they say, Kadosh, He's even removed from that.
But why do they have to say it every day? They don't learn about the first time.
No, it's not. They say it. It's every day. It's another experience.
Okay.
It's a different level. But
The same like us.
Or maybe they get some clothes and then they move again and again. And again.
no, they keep going.
So,
Could it not be that it's the same as mankind? Where every day is a new day, and therefore we have to go through the same
Exactly,
procedure.
exactly,
And an angel has
exactly.
the same,
Yeah.
even though it has one focus and one purpose, it still has to go every day to do its purpose.
100%. This is 100%. Now, interesting, I just want to say, so God is Sovev, which is Kadosh, Kadosh with a Vav, and Kadosh with a Vav, which is Mamale. But here's the trick. And this is very interesting because it's like two opposites at once. When you take oil, shemen, there's something very strange with oil. If you put it in a cup of water,
It flows.
the oil will go on top of the water. So even though it's touching the water, but it's above it. So he says a very interesting thing, and he brings it in the Sagrayim also. Human beings and angels could only think of one thought at a time. You can't have two thoughts in the same thought. You're thinking one thought and you're involved in one thinking, and then if you want to think of something else, you get out of your thought and you think of something else. You can't have two concepts that you're thinking in the same thought of both two different things.
Even women?
Women is already like God. I don't want to get to that level. But the idea.
Yeah.
So why am I saying this? Hashem, we said, is it Mamale? He's in everything, and he's Sovev. But I want you to know that even though he's in it, he's right here. He's in it, but he's Kadosh while he's here. He's here, but he's not there. Meaning, he's not affected by what he's in. Like our neshama and our guf.
Affected by what you do.
So for example, if you have, let's say you have a fever, God forbid if someone has a fever, the soul feels it. The soul feels ill. It's not just your body feel ill. Your whole nefesh feels ill. You get a burn on your finger, it hurts your neshama. The feeling.
You do something wrong.
Whatever. The idea is the neshama is not only in the body, it gets captured by the body. Because the soul and the body become so one, whatever happens to the body has an effect on the soul. That's the fact of life. And the same thing, by Hashem, even though he's in it, he's Kadosh. He's there, but he's not there. So nothing of it could affect him. So it's like the oil. He's here, but he's not there. He's in Kadosh. That's why we say, look what he says. In Kadosh Kashem. What does it mean, in Kadosh Kashem? Kishem Havaya, Yud Kevavke Hamahavas Hakol, which makes everything exist. Va'afal Pi Shemahavas Hakol. Even though Hashem makes everything exist, right? Ve'ena Kedimya Haneshama, who moved up of Chinesev Kam. Even though he makes everything exist, he's removed from it. So he's in it, makes it exist, but he's totally kadosh from it. The thing he's making exist right now has no effect on him. Whatever happens to that thing doesn't change the kadosh.
Why do we give God a gender?
1 minute, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. He's both. He's female and male, and he's none. And he's none. He's both and none.
Referred to as male.
No, not always. Shechina is not male. Shechina is female, yeah?
Okay.
Shechina is female.
Got it.
L'chein b'chinas kadosh kazeh, such a kadosh le'nimsa. We don't have such a thing. Loy b'chinas kol kadishin d'vnei shekol sin v'shenik kadosh she'moved me'izlav li'matzvei hafchi ha'nes pashas v'achiz v'davar shekadosh mevdo. He says a very interesting thing. Let's take an angel. If you're going to say an angel is kadosh, means, let's say, does the angel have any connection to this cup? You're going to tell me kadosh. He's removed from this cup. And not only he's removed, he has nothing to do. He doesn't even give the energy to this to exist. By Hashem, ain't kadosh kashem. Hashem is here, he's in it, and still he's removed. There's no such a entity that has the two opposites.
Yeah.
An angel is kadosh, he's removed. If he's not kadosh and he comes to this world, like the angels that came to Avram, so they're now people, they're humans. But when they're kadosh, they're not here. Hashem is ain't kadosh Hashem because He's here, and while He's in it, He's removed, and the thing has no effect on Him. And therefore, He says, okay. Now, if you go to on the bottom, you see where it says 17, note 17.
Yep.
You see the bottom over there?
Yes.
On the left? Where it says,
To me, call.
the mikol makom ha'ruchinis seva v'sheish l'shaychas, right? That's what I want to say. That it's not like the neshama shemis pa'elas mikri haguf. Your soul gets affected. Yesh shlomer the neshama al yidei hakilkul b'guf. If you have a blemish in your body, nistalak hachayis l'gamre, you could mashenken b'achayis l'ki. When you have an energy of Hashem in the world, even if you do something wrong, God is still there. In other words, it's not affecting Him. So I went to someone's house yesterday, and he says to me, "Did you see my brother-in-law?" I said, "Yeah, he's in the kitchen. I put on tefillin with him. Did you see anything on his body?" I said, a scratch here. He tells me a story. He says a few weeks ago, he was in the office working with his brother-in-law, and he left for a few hours, and he calls his brother-in-law, and he's talking to him on the phone, and the brother says, "I'll call you back in a few minutes." And the way he said it sounded something no good. So he got the police to come there. What happened? The brother-in-law took a knife and cut his neck, cut his wrists, wanted to take his life. And he has kids, this brother-in-law. Anyways, the Hatzalah came, he was full of blood, they saved his life. So he said to me, he still has all the scars and all the... What did he do? He cut everywhere where the blood flows. The vein here, the vein here, the vein there. So it should flow out and it's high. So that means by making a damage in your body, it affects that the soul leaves the body. Yeah. By Hashem, if you make a damage to the world, Hashem is still... It doesn't affect Him because it doesn't make Him removed. He's there and not there.
But then what about the Shekhinah when it's like leave the place? I don't know.
Okay, so he's going to get... it says that by the Churban Beit HaMikdash, so the Shekhinah left and was only Kotel HaMaravi, was left like a remnants of the Shekhinah. Shekhinah lo zaza mikotel HaMaravi. That the Shekhinah never left the western wall because it's near the Kodesh HaKadoshim, but the rest. So he's going to say what it means is it's not revealed anymore. Yeah. It's like you can't feel it. Yeah. So in the times of the Beis
the revelation of Hashem in this world.
Exactly. So the times of the Beis Hamikdash, you felt Hashem when you came to the Beis Hamikdash to the point that you just fell down and bowed down to Hashem because it was a revealed revelation. But when the Beis Hamikdash is destroyed, that revelation is gone, even though He's there, but it's hidden. Mm-hmm. As he says the word, hastara, hell.
That's what's Tzayina. Tzayina from the hastara?
Oh, no, he's talking to us. Yeah. We're going to get to what it's... Yeah, we're in big haster.
Like a sponge.
Even though God, I'm going back to the top on the last paragraph on the right, Hashem, even though He's Sovev, what's Sovev? He creates everything in the world. Mahave kol ha'olamos. She'ikar ha'chayis v'savcha makiv. Like you said, makiv. The main energy that makes this world exist, yesh me'ayin, is the sovev, of the makiv. But in kadosh. Why? V'zeu diyu tafes v'kulei almin. He's in every world. Al deisha sovev umahave. He makes them all exist, and He gives them, not only He makes them exist, He gives them life, al yedei me'ayin liyesh. He makes them from nothing to, but v'im kol zeh, even though God is making it right now exist, last man the toughest bay, it has no effect on Him. V'u kadosh umuvdal. Is that clear? Yeah. So now we understand why we say HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Why the Chacham use this terminology? Saying, listen, how could I bring out God in the best way? If I say God is chesed, that's what God is about, chesed. It's, come on, Hashem, chesed is just one of the little, it's not even, it's nothing to Hashem. If I say Hashem is chanun, but when I say HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's everything. Why? Because He's holy, He's distinct, He's removed from it, and He's in everything. And Baruch Hu, by the way, the word Baruch Hu means, and HaKadosh means removed, but Baruch Hu means down. Baruch comes from the Lashon Hamshacha. That's what we learned. It comes from the word Hamavrich et HaGefen, or Brecha. Lavrich vayavrich et HaGemalim, which means to draw down. So we say HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This holy, distinct, he's above everything, but he draw down in everything, and he's still above it. While he's there, he's above everything. Yeah, he comes down. That's the word Baruch. That's the idea, Baruch. And that's why we do Baruch also, Likkutei, the same thing.
I mean, when
we daven Shemona Esrei, yeah, when you say Baruch, you bend, then Hashem.
So Berach, each letter, Bet, Resh, and Chaf, the letter before
is two,
half.
Yeah.
It's 2 and 1, or 20 and 10. So it's like makes one thing to two.
Yeah, exactly.
Back to the original thought, that God is everything, but everything is not God.
Yeah. Okay, Chavre, I'll just finish off with one interesting concept. We have... Yeah. Each one of these letters, like that. You understand? Because each one is double the letter before. So the interesting thing is, when we every time, like in the Haggadah, we say Baruch Hamokim Baruch Hu Baruch Hu, but it says in Talmud, Hu Mikomo Shel Olam Ve'ein Ha'olam Mikomo. You hear that word? Exactly. He is in the place of the world, but the world is not His place.
Of course He's not place.
Yeah, it's infinite. But He's in there and He's not there. And that's one of the things that Moshe Rabbeinu couldn't understand. Why? In order for the Klippa to exist, Paroi, whoever, needs the energy of Hashem in it to make them exist, while they are going against Hashem, and Hashem is there, and they're going against, and He gives them the energy to go again. You understand what I'm saying? It's Hashem is there and not there, and everything exists because and Hashem, how do you give this? Why are you making this happen? So, and when we say, I think we see it in Ein Kelokenu, Ein Kadosh. Where do we say Ein Kadosh Kal Hashem, Kein Biltecha, or Mitzu Zulas? Oh, right before we say Ein Kelokenu, Kavel Hashem Chazak. There's no one like Hashem. So the idea is, this is a chidush, that He's in everything, but He's above everything at the same moment. So there's nothing we could do that affects God's existence. So we finish Ois Aleph with Hashem's help. We'll continue Ois Beis. I think it's a beautiful mimer, this. It's like very...